So another important factor for level 5 missions is of course your safety. So the way I keep myself safe is, first of all, the level 5 missions, as you will see shortly, are when I run, are dead space pockets. The only way someone can warp to you in there is if they combat probe you or if they are in a fleet with you and they fleet warp to you. That's the only two ways to get to that location. Which means that as long as you are in there and you keep descanning and you don't see combat probes on descan, like you are getting combat probed, then that long you are safe no matter what they are in because they can't warp to you. No matter where they warp, you are in a dead space pocket somewhere in space. They can't reach you. If you start to get combat scanned, that's the time when one of your bookmarks, which I will go through all of them shortly, will become important. So I have two deep saves and the ones named Panic are also deep saves bookmarks. These are in locations which you can't reach by descan from the solar system itself. So when I warp to them, no one is able to see me. That's not what I wanted. Actually, it is. So like, as you can see, they are out here. This scan doesn't reach here. There is nothing you can warp to that is close enough to this location that you can be descanned here, or this one, or this one. This one is a bit close, so this is not a good save. Actually, no, it's good because it's below. Yeah. All of these locations, all of these deep saves, I have made with previously done missions. Sometimes missions spawn very far out. You can use those missions. Just create a bookmark with Control B, and then you can make a bookmark and call it whatever you want. And it will just stay in space forever if you set it to never expire, as you can see. And if you're getting combat roped, you just go Bastion Red, hope that the enemies are slow enough that you can exit Bastion, and then you can just warp to one of these saves and save log or do whatever you want. Alternatively, you can warp right to the station. You will be using these bookmarks with every mission instead of bookmarks for the station. I also have instead of bookmarks for other stations, like this one. It's for one of the other stations. I don't know which one. But basically, they are created so close to the station that if you warp to them, you can directly dock. You won't be too far to dock. So if you exit Bastion, you need to wait a little bit for your engagement timer to run out, your aggression timer, because when you enter Bastion, you get the aggression timer, which forbids you from docking or taking gates. So that's why you want to wait a little bit for that timer to run out, then warp to one of these bookmarks, and then you can instantly dock. So even if the enemies are sitting on the station, unless they have a bubble up, you can just instantly land and instantly dock, and they can't do anything to you. They can't hurt you. Yeah, and that's it. Of course, if you warp to a deep save, you can just safe lock there once your timers have run out. The problem with the deep saves and safe logging is that you have to wait for all your timers to run out to safe log. Because you will be fighting NPCs, you will get a NPC aggression timer, the yellow timer, which will need you to wait for 5 minutes before you can safe log. If the enemies manage to shoot at you, you will get another timer, which is for 15 minutes. So the best option is to dock in a station. Of course, another option, which I have only used once, is you can theoretically go around, create a lot of deep saves, and in all of the deep saves, drop a mobile depot with a cloaking device. So you just warp there in your golem or whatever ship you are using when you get attacked, and you refit to a cloaking device, and then you just cloak up. Like you scoop the thing to your cargo hold, and you just instantly cloak up in like 3 seconds. You get there, you refit to cloak, you cloak up. And then they can't combat scan you anymore, or de-scan you because they won't be able to find you because you are cloaked. You don't even need to safe log in that case. You can just wait out your timers and then safe log, or wait until the enemies go away and then just dock in a station. Yeah, that's it. Of course, this all relies on the fact that you can warp out of the mission before they can catch you. The way that so not a lot of the hunters like to come at you in the missions because they can also get aggressed in the missions by the mission rats. Level 5 missions are not a joke. There is lots of DPS, lots of looting. So if they war to you, war to the mission, and they get engaged, they can very quickly also lose their ships. Of course, this doesn't stop all of the hunters. Most of them aren't stopped by this, they will still try. If you are using the cruise missile fit for the golem, you always micro jump drive away in a mission so that you can snipe the enemies. In that case, there is barely any danger to you because even if the enemies warp to you, many of the sites have a acceleration gates. Many of the sites are gated sites, and in those sites, they have to, even if they warp to you, they will land on the acceleration gate outside, and then they have to take the acceleration gate, which puts them always at the same spot. But you will have micro jump drive away from that spot, and you will be always 100 kilometers away in the cruise missile fit, for example. Sometimes in the torpedo fit as well, if you have to micro jump drive at a structure or at a enemy group and stuff like that. So it's very rare that you are sitting at 0 on warping in a mission. There is of course missions where there is no acceleration gate. In that case, if they scan you down, it doesn't matter where you are, they can warp directly on top of you. Of course, as I have discussed before, the golem is very tanky. It is capable of taking quite a lot of damage. It can apply to the stuff they try to tackle you with. You have drones, you have neutralizers, you have smart bombs. So you can try to get rid of the tackle that gets onto you. Of course, things should never get to the point that they war to you. The second you see combat probes on your D-scan, run for your life. Bastion Red, run for your life. Because you can just sit in a station for 20 minutes and wait till they go away. Another thing that can happen is sometimes enemies can camp your station. Of course, with insta-docks you can instantly dock and that's not a problem. But what about undocking? What about warping to the mission? So, if you have enemies on your station and you still decide that you want to run missions in such a scenario, you should create what's called instant undock bookmarks. So this is for a different station right now, but I can warp to it to show you. I don't have more of these because when there is people camping my station, I don't want to run missions because that means they will try to hunt me, which is not good. So as you can see, all it is basically you dock in the station in a very quick ship, you undock and burn straight away. for a few hundred kilometers, and then you create a bookmark. What this does is when you undock your golem from this station, you can instantly warp to this bookmark without having to align or do any of that stuff. That means that the enemies that are camping here won't be able to touch you because you will be 300 kilometers away. And here you can take your time to warp to your mission. Of course, the further away you go with these bookmarks, the more safer they will be. Because who knows, the enemy that comes to the station might have a bookmark every 100 kilometers. And when you try to use an standard bookmark, they might just warp to the nearest bookmark that you warp to, that they have. So if they have a bookmark every 100 kilometers, they will have a bookmark here, and a bookmark somewhere here. So if I warp to this one, they would just warp here and try and kill me, or try to kill me. But they will probably only have a few of these bookmarks, if they will have any. They usually don't. So if you burn very far away, like 1,000 kilometers, or maybe even more, this of course takes a while to set up. All of these bookmarks take a while. That just increases your chances of pulling this off successfully. But as I said before, I don't encourage this, because if they are already sitting on the station, chances are they will try to combat probe you and kill you. So it's a bad idea. And yeah, basically that's all of the options all of the precautions that you can take, all of the things that are in place to keep you safe. Of course, it's not completely safe. Your ship is never completely safe. There is always a way to catch you. If you mess up anything and the hunters are really good, they will catch you. And even if you do everything perfectly, if the hunters are good enough, they will still catch you if you aren't very quick and notice them. That's also a reason it is important to keep a look on local. For example, I know these two guys also run level 5 missions here. They have never tried to attack me, so I feel rather safe with them around. That doesn't mean they are my friends, they are not my friends, but they aren't my enemies either yet, because they have never shown any sort of aggression to me. They just run level 5 missions like I do. So it's important to also know the locals. And if at any point anyone appears that you don't know, you need to start spamming the scan constantly, really hard. And yeah, that's really all there is to the level 5s. Also, another thing is that, as I have said before, most of the missions you finish in 2 to 3 minutes, in 2 bastion cycles. That's very quick. So even if people are trying to catch you and combat probe you, they have very little time to... Well, it's not little time. If someone is good at combat probing, they can combat probe you in 20 seconds. But they have to know you are doing this, where you are doing this, and they have to set up a lot of things for it to work out for them. And even then, your fit is very tanky. Unless they drop a lot of people on you, a lot of ships, multiple neuting ships, and so on, they will have a very hard time of killing you. And if they drop a lot of things on you, yeah, there is nothing you could have done. If there is that many people trying to kill you, just stay docked and log off, go touch grass, whatever. But I have been running level 5 missions for a long time now. I have yet to lose a single golem, like a single running ship. I have lost travel ships to all kinds of stupid mistakes. And yeah, that's it. I have also stopped counting the amount of times people have tried to attack me. It happens like nearly every day. Also, another important thing is, see, for example, this system where I'm in right now has faction warfare. That means corruption is very likely to spread here. with Corruption 5, as you saw when I was doing the faction warfare missions, and in the militia chat, people said the pirates had a bubble up, a war destruction bubble, like you see in nullsec. When corruption reaches level 5, the pirates can put things like that up, so be wary of that, be careful of that. If there is a if there is pirate faction warfare going on in the system you are trying to run in, and it's at level 5, maybe wait a week until the pirate faction warfare goes away and resets, or of course take the risk. It's all up to you. I have used this setup when there was pirate faction warfare in this region, and Fraternity had like 100 players in this system and in Gulmaragod, and I was still able to run level 5 missions with this setup. So you can still work like that, you can still make it work, but it's dangerous. I was getting combat probed like every second mission, but the Fraternity didn't really care that much about me. But they could have easily dropped 20 marshals on me if they really wanted to kill me. But yeah, that's it for the safety of running level 5 missions, how to stay safe and what to do if something happens. I don't know if during my recordings I will catch anyone trying to combat probe me. Of course, if anything like that happens, it will be included in the video, but I can't guarantee it. But yeah, that's it.